Dear viewers, you are watching OBN Horn of Africa. This is our weekly program, Invest in Ethiopia. Today, we are going to discuss investment relations between Ethiopia and Sweden. I joined by Ambassador of Ethiopia to Sweden, Ambassador Mehreteab Mulugeta, to discuss these issues and other related things. Ambassador, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate that.
Well, let me begin with this question. The historical relationship between Ethiopia and Sweden. Would you tell us about it a little bit?
Well, thank you very much for, as I said, having and giving us this opportunity. As you know, Ethiopia and Sweden had a very long and historical relationship starting during the 1860s. As you know, Sweden involved and engaged with different activities in Ethiopia, and the first activities was, they were missionaries who came to Ethiopia in 1866. That is when the first Swedish citizens arrived in Ethiopia, and these missionaries, they came to help in the education and medical care areas in Ethiopia, where there were no government or schools or hospitals or clinics at that time. So the relationship goes back to the 1860s, as I said, and there was also a very close relationship between the then Emperor Haile Selassie and the King of Sweden at that time. So Emperor Haile Selassie, visited Sweden in 1924. And Crown Prince Gustav Adolf also made a visit to Ethiopia in 1935, and the official relationship, started from that time. And because of the two royal houses, they are very close to each other. And in the 1930s and the 1940s, many Swedes were recruited by the Ethiopian government, especially the emperor was very much interested in Swedish professionals, in education, health, and military. So he recruited along, with the educators, he recruited army officers, medical staff, teachers, policemen, and lawyers, to educate Ethiopians in these fields. And there was a lot of history in that regard. As you know, Swedish national was the one who established the Ethiopian Air Force during the emperor's time, and the trainer of Abebe Bikila was also a Swedish who was stationed in Bishoftu at that time. And this relationship, after it strengthened from time to time, in 1946, the Swedish government established an embassy in Ethiopia, and he established their residence in the land which was given by the emperor to the king of Sweden at that time. And Ethiopia also, a year later in 1947, opened its diplomatic mission in Sweden. So the two countries, worked very closely, and there were a lot of Swedish professionals working in Ethiopia at that time. And even in the 1960s, there were more than 500 Swedish professionals in the different fields who were working in Ethiopia, as teachers, military officers, telecom sector, technical assistants, advisors to the emperor, and other sectors.
In which development areas is Sweden actively working in Ethiopia?
As I said, the relationship goes back very far, and they started the relationship in 1866 as teachers, as health workers. So it helps to develop these sectors in Ethiopia when these missionaries came to, not only to teach the religion, but also they help to teach the Ethiopians, help in the health sector. So it helped to the then development of these sectors. But officially, the Swedish government and the Ethiopian Development Cooperation started in the 1945, when the Swedish, at that time, the Swedish government gave a loan of 5 million Swedish kroner. It's around, when we see it today, it's around 1 million Ethiopian, it's around 20 million Ethiopian birr. at this current exchange rate. So it is the first grant which was given by the Swedish government for development work to Ethiopia, and that was in 1945. After that, the development cooperation grew, and then Sweden has an organization which is called SIDA, the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, which run the cooperation activities and development cooperation in the different parts of the world. So mainly now the development cooperation activities which are run by SIDA include, mainly focusing on democracy, human rights, rule of law, gender, and inclusive development. And they are working in mainly the development cooperation works on the social development, poverty reduction, environment, climate change as well. So these are the areas which are mainly the Swedish government focuses in their development cooperation in Ethiopia.
Good. As you know, investment is one of a key economic pillar in Ethiopia. How is Sweden participating in this sector so far?
Well, as I said, although we started the development cooperation long time in the 1940s, the business or the investment activities started recently. I can say it started more or less in the early 2000s. And this started, we signed a bilateral agreement on investment promotion and protection with Sweden in 2004. So this laid the ground, the legal framework for investment promotion to Ethiopia, which gives guarantee to Swedish investment companies to come and invest in Ethiopia. So accordingly, some Swedish companies invested in Ethiopia, but the number is not that much. It's not for us level, for the level of Ethiopia's development. There are very few which are engaged in textile, like the H&M, the pharma medical companies, which are there involved. And there are some companies which are there in like the Volvo, like Scania, they are there, although they are not really investing or manufacturing their vehicles, but they are there doing business. So we are approaching the Swedish government through their investment promotion organization, which is called Swed Fund, which finances different investments to take part very extensively in the development efforts of Ethiopia. So we are working in that regard, but as I said, the numbers are very limited, as it doesn't correspond to the level of development we see in Sweden.
Well, Ethiopia is reforming its economic sector. How do you see the attention given to this sector in this reform?
As you said, there are economic reforms going on in Ethiopia, and the economic reform has been promoted and not only in Sweden, in the Scandinavian countries, and we have been promoting this economic reform. Especially, we are promoting the homegrown economic strategy, which has been implemented, and the 10-year economic development plan, which our government and country is following. So to promote this and for the Swedish to be part of this, we are promoting and requesting the Swedish government to increase their development cooperation, especially in the health and the education sector, in the infrastructure development. And also we are asking, the private sector, we are promoting the investment potentials, the trade, external trade, the export potential of the country, as well as the tourism potential. So we are promoting the reforms, and we are promoting the different activities being done with this economic reform program. So we are engaged in targeted investment promotion, going door to door to potential investors, and we are providing one-stop shop service to the investors who wanted to go to Ethiopia. They come to our embassy. We promote their travel. We give visas for the investors, and we are doing our best in that regard.
What are investment opportunities and platforms in Ethiopia, especially to attract foreign direct investments?
Well, as I said earlier, with this economic reform program or the homegrown economic strategy and the 10-year economic development program of the government, there are priority areas which we are also promoting here in Scandinavian countries. And as you know, these priority areas include the textile and the apparel sector, the leather and leather product sector, the pharmaceuticals, the agro-processing, tourism, ICT, mining, and energy. So these are the main 5 areas in the Ethiopian strategy which have been promoted. So we are promoting in this and other sectors which the Swedish companies might be interested to come and invest and be part of the our prosperity endeavors in the country. And we are also promoting the different priority sectors which are newly opened, like the transport sector, like the freight, the railway, the cold chain, and the other also like the consulting, advertising activities, as well as the different commerce, like the wholesale business and everything. And we are also promoting not only this the strategic areas, but also the industrial zones, which have been established in different areas, not only the industrial zones, but the agro-processing zones also being established in Ethiopia. And we are also currently promoting the free trade zone, which is opened in the Redawa. So we are promoting all these activities so that the investment can come to the country in Ethiopia. As you know, Ethiopia is in a strategic location, which we call a gateway to Africa, and it is in between the Middle East and Africa and Europe, and we have around 120 million population, which is 70% of it is a young population. So we have also different incentives, different guarantees, and we work closely with the Ethiopian Investment Commission and other regional investment bureaus to encourage investors to come to Ethiopia, as well as we are promoting Ethiopian export items so that we can sell our products to Sweden and Scandinavian countries, and as well as we are promoting the tourism sector in Ethiopia, in the different parts of Ethiopia. As you know, Ethiopian Airlines is the only African country which flies to this area in Sweden and Oslo, and it has recently started also its flight to Denmark. So we are promoting also the tourism destinations as well.
Good. As you have mentioned earlier, Ethiopia has built many industrial parks across the nation. What is the role of expanding industrial parks in attracting both domestic and foreign investors to the nation?
Well, as you know, the industrial parks are, if I say, ready-made built areas for investors or for processing, especially in the manufacturing sector. In previous years, before we started the industrial parks development, one investor has to come to the country, has to look for land, it has to negotiate for land, there are compensations to be paid. They have to really go up and down for looking their investments to materialize, then they have to build a building. It needs a lot of efforts and a lot of resources to establish themselves. But now, when we develop the industrial parks, it become very easy for investors to come and establish. They bring their machines, the electricity is there, the water source is there, all the other sources like the customs, the clearance houses, the manpower, everything is integrated in this industrial park. So this helped the manufacturers to really, come and, as they say, plug and play. They bring their machines, they plug into equipped with all the necessary infrastructure there, and they start manufacturing. So it is really very conducive and very fast for investors in that area, and the government provides and made available, abundant labor force in those areas, and there are one-stop shop service in this area. So it is very convenient, for the investors to come and be part of in these industrial zones. And domestically, the industrial zones created labor for the local labor force. They were getting employment, and the areas in those cities, near the industrial parks, they started to grow. They started to develop from the activities of the industrial parks, because there are a lot of activities, transportation coming, people coming, and we have a lot of activities because of the industrial zones, and there are a trickling effect with the industrial zones. So it has helped to make investment very easy and fast in Ethiopia.
Good. As you know, Ethiopia has established a capital market authority to overcome some financial obstacles. Would it play any role in attracting more investors to the country?
Yes, I believe so. Why? Because, it will give access to capital. As you know, in Ethiopia, we have a very big labor force. We have a very competitive manpower. The salaries, the payment for the manpower is very competitive all over the world. We have a very intelligent and very educated youth. We have a lot of students graduating from Tibet colleges as well as universities. So we have a lot of manpower, and we have a lot of land also. We have very vast uncultivated land, but we are short of capital in the country. So the establishment of this capital market will help, in my opinion, that to benefit this youth, whoever wanted to start up their businesses, to become entrepreneurs, it will help them, or for small and medium industries also to expand into big industrial businesses. It will help them to have, to finance their businesses for expanding their production facilities and start new products. So it will develop our markets, and it will help the venture capital investment will help, and it has a lot of advantages for our country. So it will help us accumulate also capital through increasing the value of savings, and it adds value to the functioning of the country's financial system. So I hope that this will also encourage the private financial institutions and as well as the government-owned businesses. So it is very important for the country, in our endeavor, in our economic growth and job creation endeavors. So it is really a step forward to increase the flow of foreign direct investment towards Ethiopia as well.
Well, recently you have organized an event titled Invest in Ethiopia, Unleashing Opportunities for Growth and Collaboration, in collaboration with Innovate Consult and Innovation Africa. What will it play in attracting investors again to the nation?
Yeah, as you know, there was this event in Oslo, Norway, in collaboration with Innovate Consult and Innovation Africa. Actually, it was held during a week which was, in Oslo every year. They have this Oslo Innovation Week, which is organized by the Oslo Innovation Organization. So during that week, in its 5 days event, countries organize promotion activities, promotion programs. So we, the embassy, also collaborated with Innovate Consult in Innovation Africa and participated into the Foreign Direct Investment Promotion Program in Oslo. Actually, we had also another function at the same time. We had this promotion with Innovate Consult and Innovation Africa on September 28, but on September 27, within the same week, also with the Norwegian Chamber of Commerce, also we did the same. So it was a 2-day event, although it was organized by 2 different co-organizers, but it was a 2-day event investment promotion program. So it helped us to introduce Ethiopia, especially after the conflict we had in our northern part of Ethiopia. The news in this area was conflict and war and civil war in Ethiopia. So it helped us, to change this mindset, at least we were able to say that Ethiopia, although we had this conflict, now we are back into business. We are open for investment, for trade and tourism and technology transfer. So we were trying to showcase the opportunities and the opportunities of collaboration in Ethiopia. We had officials from Ethiopian Investment Commission, from the Ministry of Innovation, and other also non-governmental and private businesses who came to Oslo to promote Ethiopia, to promote their own business. We were around 15 or 16 participants from Ethiopia we received, and it was a very good moment to promote our country, not only to Norway, but we had participants also from Sweden. So it helped us for promoting Ethiopian businesses, and it helps us to engage business to business partnership, and hopefully that we will have some results out of this promotion. From the two events, from the 2-day events, there were around 120 Norwegian and Ethiopian businesses, both Norwegian companies and companies run by the Ethiopians born and raised in Norway. So we hope that we will follow it up, and this helped us, to promote and to re-engage in the business, and to say that we are back to business and we want to have business opportunities from Norway and Scandinavian countries to come to Ethiopia.
Good. As you have mentioned, among the most promising investment opportunities in Ethiopia include agriculture and agro-processing, infrastructure, energy, aviation, healthcare, and tourism. How could your embassy help foreign investors to engage in these areas?
Well, what we are doing is, in collaboration with the Ethiopian Investment Commission and other regional investment bureaus, we gather and we collect information on the promotion or investment opportunities in our country and as well as in the different regions. And we have those materials, and we go, as I said, we used different mechanisms. One is the general promotion. You participate on exhibitions, you participate on investment promotion forums, and the other one is we go the direct investment promotion programs. That means we identify the potential investors who had the capacity or who have been investing in other developing countries, and then we go and discuss with them, and we bring and the opportunities in Ethiopia. We provide them with explanations and presentations, and we give them information about our infrastructure, energy, and other sectors which are open for Ethiopian investors, and what are the investment incentives, guarantees which we get, and what are the advantages or what are the profits, what they will be getting if they invest in Ethiopia. And we will explain why it is advantageous to come to Ethiopia and invest, the position of Ethiopia in the Horn of Africa, the Ethiopian Airlines, the population, etc., and our membership to the different economic regional blocks like COMESA, IGAD, and now we are members of the BRICS as well. So we promote all this together to the business community so that they can look into opportunities by becoming Ethiopia, and what they can benefit.
There are many Ethiopian diasporas living in Sweden and other parts of the world. Do you have a platform where you discuss and promote investment opportunities of Ethiopia to the other world, to the entire world?
Yes, as you know, Scandinavia is one of the areas in the world where we have large diaspora or Ethiopian origin communities. So we do identify Ethiopians or Ethiopians by origin living in the Scandinavian countries who have the capacity, who have the knowledge, and who has the money, who can engage in business or investment in Ethiopia. This is all. We do it in two ways. One is because of their network here. We use and we collaborate with the Ethiopian community here to promote Ethiopia. We work together with some of them, to promote Ethiopia in the Scandinavian countries. Some of them, they themselves are importers of Ethiopian coffee. They are importing Ethiopian injera. They import Ethiopian spices and Ethiopian honey. So we work with them whenever they have problems. We try to solve their problems, and we encourage them, to buy more. Some of them are also investors. They travel to their Ethiopia, to their country, and invest in different activities, mainly in the service sector. Some of them are in the real estate business. Some of them are in the hotel and tourism sector. Some of them are exporters from here. They export vehicles to Ethiopia, and there are some also who started now activities in the electric vehicles selling and electric vehicles charging terminals investment. So we work with the Ethiopians and the Ethiopian origin, and we have also established in Sweden the Swedish Ethiopia Chamber of Commerce, which is established by Ethiopians and Ethiopian origin, and at the same time we have also Norway Ethiopia Chamber of Commerce, which is also established by Ethiopia. So we work with these chambers, to promote Ethiopia, not only on investment in the cultural Ethiopian culture, Ethiopian tradition, and we are also, as I said, encouraging potential those who have the capacity to come to investment, and those who are working in different sectors also. We are working with them, so that we can transfer technologies, because most of them, they have the knowledge, they have the access for different technologies. There are doctors, there are engineers, there are IT specialists. So we are encouraging them to go to their country. We are facilitating their travel to Ethiopia so that they can come and they bring their knowledge, their expertise, their experiences, to train or to work for a limited period of time in Ethiopia, so that, we can bridge the gap between Sweden and Ethiopia, or innovation and technology. Well, as you know, the Belt and Road Initiative is an initiative established or started by China to connect different countries with this initiative, and Ethiopia is one of the countries which is part of this more than 100 countries initiative, and it is one of the main partners of this initiative in Africa. As you know, we are located in a strategic location in Africa, and we have also benefited, from this partnership. As you know, there are a lot of projects undertaken by China in Ethiopia, especially infrastructure projects, the different road projects, the light railway, the railway between Ethiopia and Djibouti, and the other infrastructure projects being built in the country. So when you see that, since the last 10 years, if I am not mistaken, since the establishment of the Road and Belt Initiative, Ethiopia has been one of the beneficiaries of Chinese and Ethiopia economic bilateral cooperation. So this Belt and Road Initiative should be encouraged, in my opinion, and countries like Ethiopia and other developing countries in Africa and other parts of the world will definitely benefit from this cooperation and relationship. It brings together these countries to trade among each other, to have investments, to exchange knowledge, to exchange technology. So I am happy that Ethiopia is one of the countries at the forefront of this Belt and Road Initiative. And I have watched reports from China that we had a very successful visit by His Excellency Prime Minister, with his engagement with the Prime Minister of China as well as the President of China, and the signing of this agreement will further enhance, that is for sure, will further enhance our economic endeavors as well as our investment in trade, tourism, and technology transfer, and it will enhance our capacity, and it will enhance the road towards prosperity.
Well, finally, if you have any message before we conclude our discussion, you can deliver.
Well, thank you very much, first of all, to give me this chance to have this interview with you. And as I was saying earlier, with Sweden and other Scandinavian countries which we cover Norway, Denmark, and Finland from here. We are working in the embassy, I and my colleagues, the other diplomats in the different sectors. We are trying to work at strengthening the bilateral political relations with these Scandinavian countries, as well as the economic cooperation in investment, trade, technology transfer, tourism. And we will continue also not only the bilateral economic and political cooperation, but also we are trying to work into the cultural and traditional cooperation, the development cooperation in with these countries. And we are also working very closely with the Ethiopian diaspora here, with the Ethiopians and the Ethiopian origin, so that they can be part of this development endeavor in their country, And we are trying also to encourage the youth who were born and raised here, to go back to Ethiopia, to visit their countries of origin, so that they can be, of value, they can be part of the value addition to the development endeavor in the country. And I really thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador, for your deep insights on our program and your time, dear viewers. That is all what we have for this edition. Till the next program, have a good time.